I created a blog a couple of months ago, and to be honest, it isn't the first blog I've ever made. I always used to make blogs and then give up and then think, oh, I'm going to make a new blog, and then give up on that one. So I'm actually pretty proud that this one's been going on for about 2 months now, and I've actually got 9 posts, and they are regular posts rather than posts every 2 years or something. So I'm pretty proud of that. It's actually got a base theme of books. I'm actually currently designing it at the moment, and I thought I'd take a break from all that because I'm getting rather stressed with coding and getting all the different sizes right and things like that. So I've decided to do a book tag. So I'm going to do the Inside Out tag. It's actually originally by Mathern Books, so here we go. I personally like the description to be not too long but not too short. I hate ones that actually don't have any description in them whatsoever, because of the fact that you need to know something about a book to actually want to read it. I mean, some of them you actually just have the little review quotes, like by The Guardian or The Mail or whatever, but I just hate those descriptions of books because they don't actually say anything about what the storyline is, and generally you choose a book by the storyline, and you don't want too much to read, because if you have too much you just can't be bothered to read it, and then you end up glancing over it and then it might not be as good as you first thought. So somewhere in between, where you don't have to read that much but it gives you enough of an outline of what's actually going to go in the story. I actually couldn't care less, to be honest. I have books in all forms apart from audiobook. I actually bought a Kindle last year, so I've actually been buying a lot of ebooks. The majority of my books are actually in paperback, and I've got a couple in hardback, but they are the minority. I really don't care what format my books are in. A book's a book at the end of the day, so as long as you can read it, that's great. Now, when I was in school and we had to take notes in books, we had to highlight and underline and make notes. I hated it so much. It's one of my little pet peeves. I like books to be pristine. I like them to be clean and not dog-eared, and I even get annoyed when books, like the front cover just moves up a little bit when it's just standing by itself. I know you can't help it, but it really bugs me, and sometimes I try and like put heavy objects on the top to actually stop it from getting like that. Definitely clean with me, no writing. Sometimes I actually write down quotes. I've started actually putting in post-it notes where my favourite quotes are and stuff like that, but never ever ever in the book itself. Now, I'm actually going to be reading the first paragraph from Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I absolutely love this book and I cannot rate it highly enough, and I recommend it to everyone and anyone to read. The screw through Cinder's ankle had rusted, the engraved cross marks worn to a mangled circle. Her knuckles ached from forcing the screwdriver into the joint as she struggled to loosen the screw, one gritting twist after another. By the time it was extracted far enough for her to wrench free with her prosthetic steel hand, the hairline threads had been stripped clean. But why would the author's gender actually matter? A book is a book at the end of the day. Male authors can be bad, female authors can be bad, male authors can be brilliant, female authors can be brilliant. It really doesn't even make a difference to me whether it's a male or a female author. I don't even take any notice, to be quite honest. Sometimes I see how many pages there are in a book and I accidentally glance over something, but the majority of the time I don't actually see any spoilers, so it doesn't actually make any difference whatsoever. But I do have a tendency, when I'm getting really excited in a book, of actually glancing at the next page and seeing spoiler words or things like that, just to see if I was right in predicting what was actually going to happen. This is a really awful habit of mine, and sometimes I literally have to cover the page with my hand to stop myself from doing it, or I literally have to focus my gaze on the sentence that I'm currently reading. Well, my bookshelves are actually pretty neat. I mean, they're not in any particular order, colour, author, name, you name it. It's just neat stacked. I just don't have any horizontal books really, or when I do, I don't like them to be there, and I try to make room for them elsewhere just to be stood up vertically. I'll admit, yes, I was going to buy this anyway without actually reading the blurb, but then the blurb sounded pretty good. I was actually in WH Smith's and I bought 2 books from the teenage section, and at that time they had a buy 2 get 1 free on all the teenage books, but I didn't actually realise this at the time till I took 2 books up to the counter and the lady there said, do you want to pick another one so that you can have a free? And I had no idea what I wanted to pick, so I just saw this cover and I instantly fell in love with it. It is Gone by Michael Grant, and this cover is absolutely amazing. It's so striking and it literally just drew me to it straight from the off. I saw it and I was like, I want that book. The weather in England is awful. 80% of the time it's either raining, windy or cold outside. So the likelihood of me actually reading outside in the first place is actually slim to none. I do actually prefer to read indoors, and on the odd occasion when it is actually sunny outside, I sometimes choose to go outside to read, but the likelihood of that isn't very big. Mainly due to the weather, but mainly just due to the fact that I'm lazy and prefer to stay indoors a lot of the time when I'm reading. So yeah, that's it. I don't know who to tag, so I'm going to tag everybody. And hopefully I will see you soon. Bye!